Good good afternoon, people. Good afternoon. This is Spirit Journey. How are you doing today? Today is Tuesday. Hello, Tuesday Talk in Rwanda. It is April 16th, 2024, and the time is 5:01 p.m. Boy, this day went fast. This day was a really busy day. Busy day, enjoying myself and my new experiences today. And I want to share that with you. Wow. I'm just like again, I feel very thankful. I'm thankful that I'm here in Rwanda. It's been, let's see, consecutively, of this year, 2024. I've been here. I arrived back here January 3 till now. Yeah, and including today. Um, wow, what a journey, people. What a journey. But I'm very appreciative that, yes, when there's sorrow, there is also joy too that comes about. And I'm glad that I'm experiencing some joy, some pleasure moments, and enjoying the beauty that Rwanda has. I want to share with you um, different stories on my experience today, and including um, I'm watching a program on YouTube about certain parts of America. I was watching something on the indigenous people uh, along the East Coast and we call Appalachia, about the certain addictions that they have. And I think I want to share with you those components in this story because it's about the human experience and that suffering is universal. Suffering is universal. So, where to begin? Well, I kind of got up a little later than usual today and got my dog ready. And yeah, I decided, hey, let me take a little different walk. And so I took a road in front of our house and kind of ventured. I said, I haven't gone through that road, and I wonder where it's going to lead to. And I did so. It was a nice time. I see that the area where I live, you have some really interesting streets, some beautiful homes. I like also looking at the homes to get ideas on, if I one day could get my own home, I would like my home built to my specifications. I want a round house, people. I want to um, I want to stay away from sharp angles. I like things that are curved, rounded. That's just I'm fascinated with that, and a beautiful garden. I like that. So I'm just walking and come across some. Oh, I know I met someone down there. Um, oh God, I can't remember now. It's like I've met so many, experienced so many things, but it was just pleasant. And it's really nice when you see like you just kind of experiment to see where one road would lead to, and um, it was just a beautiful day as well. So at one point I decided, I said, hey, um, let me go. While it's still early, since I left an hour later than usual, I said, hey, I really want to go back to that section where that school is. So Yeah, it's a road. I shared that with you the other day. There's a section where there's a school, and I'm fascinated uh, looking at the valley facing north. So I said, hey, let me go down there. And what a blessing I got out of it. Yeah, so I had my little boy Lavender in my arms, and I meet up with people along the way because there's a lot of construction going on there, and they're fascinated with the dog that I have, and I laugh along with them. It's a novelty. I mean, even in America, with the breed of dog that I have remaining. The Pekingese, they're not very popular here, in America. So just imagine a place like Rwanda. They've never seen anything like it. And yeah, they kind of tease my little dog. It looks like a monkey. Yes, he does, especially when he was a little guy. But yeah, I love the energy of the people here in Rwanda. I'm really, really falling in love with the people here, my experiences, and to be able to talk to all types of people. I love it. I love it. And so, yeah, so I headed up to, facing north and north of the valley. And so I reached the school. Oh, what was that now? Um, Yeah, I had passed the school actually, and I wanted to go further down, but there was a stray dog, kind of big, and it was running alongside a person on a motorcycle, with a passenger, and I said, "Uh-oh." I said, "There's a dog." At a point, I said, "There's a dog off leash," and I'm afraid, because it's not on a leash, and if I hurt my dog. And you know what? There was a gentleman there. He was on a bike. He was walking his bike up the hill, and he took it to himself to help me out. And he had um, chased the dog away. Brave of him. Yeah, stray dogs I don't want to deal with, not with my little baby in my arms. My little boy, Lavender, the Pekingese. Yes, hello, viewer. Good morning. No, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Yeah, good afternoon there. So, um, so he chased the dog away, and there was a young woman who was heading in the same direction. And they said, "Oh, just come, They were speaking in their language, and I can gather what they're trying to say. What they were communicating was, the dog's not there. Hey, she'll walk you further down the road. And I'm saying, no, I'll just go in the opposite direction. So I headed back in the direction where the school was, the elementary school, and what a blessing I got out of it, people. I enjoyed myself. See, I'm a very spontaneous person. I, I I really have an adventure spirit about me, but at the same time, I am very timid about a lot of things. Especially back in America, I was afraid about a lot of things. Afraid to really venture. Um, within the country. But in the immediate area where I lived, excuse me, let me get some water. Sorry. Sorry about that. So the immediate area, I would, go to the park or something like that. But it's just I had this fear. And so here in Rwanda, I just, my curiosity about the land and the people. And so I was walking back up south now, going back towards the school because I just passed it. And I met up with people from the school. The students were coming in, And someone must have been talking to me. And it was a woman, and she was actually a nun. Yeah, this was a Catholic school, elementary school, like from kindergarten, nursery to like I think the um, fourth or fifth grade, something like that. And you wear a uniform, and the nuns dress like they wear their African attire, not like what in the America, the old fashioned, I think you call it a habit, the black and white outfit. No, they just dress like regular Rwandan people. And someone said something, try to like said, I'm trying to remember. Okay, the woman's at the front door and she's inquiring about the dog, and she might have been speaking French, and um, and then someone was translating for me something. They were intervening for me. And at one point, they were very excited about the dog. They were interested about who I was as a person. And I explained to them, I said, "Oh, I live over there." I said, Alaba. Alaba means over there in French. And I said, "Yeah, I just live just a couple of houses away from the main road. I live right there. I moved in early in the year, and I just like nature and everything." And so the lady grasped my arm and said, "Hey, well, come on in." It was so wonderful. Yeah, the nun, and not knowing initially she was a nun, but she grabbed my arm, my hand, and said, "Come on in, come in, come in. Welcome, welcome." And I have again a little dog in my arms, and there was another person there. He was English speaking. He could speak different languages. He's a like a teacher's assistant, and he gave me a tour of the facility. Yeah, and very pleasant. I might have been there for maybe an hour and a half. It could have been. Yeah, I had a fantastic time, people. Um, this school is uh, um, on the mount, like Rwanda has many many hills, and on the hill that the school is on, it's facing the north side of the hill, and I like the north side of the hill because it's overlooking the valley, and the valley is all farmland, like real country. So you have the farmers, and they have those small little cluster houses, and I guess they work collectively, and they till the fields and everything. And when I look at it, I said, "Wow, it's so romantic. It is just so beautiful to me." So I actually favor the north side of the hill that I'm on. The north side of the I'm sorry, the south side of the hill is beautiful also, but it's very modern, more upscale. I kind of like the rural personally. That's just me, and it just makes me feel good looking at it. So she pulls me inside, and she show like it was just like night and day. Like when you look outside, they have this big wall, and you can't really tell. Like the roads are all dirt roads, really what you call really, challenging roads. They're unpaved, and you have the giant wall. And but when you open the gate, you have like a yard inside. It looked nice, and you have the structures that were inside the uh, the space. And the gentleman, he brings me into this building because he was going to. He introduced me to one of the staff there. It was I think she's like um, I guess maybe the administrator or something, and she didn't speak English really, but the man translated for me. Yeah, so they asked me questions. She asked me questions, and I explained who I was and where I come from, and it was just a very frank conversation, and they made me feel at home. Um, they made me feel really good, really good. They were just very we call it housewarming, just very very hospitable. Um, let's see what else. Yeah, the school. I'm not sure how old the school is, but it's a Catholic school. And what I pick up at with the school, uh, everybody was very well behaved. The little kids, again, these are like kids like 3 years old to 11 or 12. They're very young. And I was very impressed, very, very impressed about the children. Um, very respectful. Um, everything seemed pretty neat. And I could feel the love, people. Yes, I felt the love in that place. I mean, we have a lot of Catholic schools in America. And I don't know, people. One thing that I'm seeing with Rwanda is that there's a sense of respect for um, adults. But the kids seem, especially when they're very, very young, very respectful, very nice. And it was just such a nice, I mean, I could even see myself maybe sponsoring a child to get what they call a good education. Yeah, the school, there are many French francophone schools in Rwanda. Again, Rwanda was colonized by Belgium, and they speak a type of French there. And so, what you have still in Rwanda, uh, you have schools that teach the French system, and you also have, since the English language is used for business. Um, and given instructions, in books and stuff like that. And so they know that it's important to, that to utilize the English language also. But initially, you learn the French system, so you learn the language there. Yes, I'm sure that the children at home, they speak their native tongue, okay, but they introduce and they promote the initial francophone. Everything's taught in French, and then I think, if I understood right, I think from the third grade on, they introduce English and they learn English language, and I think that's a pretty neat system too. So the kids would be knowing three languages, and I think that's is fantastic. It was a wonderful moment, people, at this school. Again, I'm not a Catholic, and I don't follow religion. But of course, I didn't tell them that. But I appreciate their hospitality, and I felt that they cared. I felt that they cared about the children, and they were telling me, yeah, it's like they really wanted me to know. They wanted to share with me what their school was all about, and that I was amazed with. They told me the pricing of the school. Many of the people that go there, their families have money, and you would never know it because, like, where the school is, it's like in the middle of a valley, and it's very rural, you know, but the people, go to the school, and they're a wealthier um, clientele that the children are from homes that have means, and they want what they wanted me to do. Okay, we spoke for quite a while in the office, and they wanted me to speak to the children. Yeah, they had what you call an assembly. So everybody at a certain time, they had to gather in the yard, very orderly. And they were, I think, giving a chant. It's not a chant, but like they had something for them to say um, in unison. And it seemed very positive. So when they were finished speaking to me, inside the building, myself, the young man, and I think the other woman, we all went outside, and he whispered to me, says, "Okay, we would like to introduce you to the children, and you could tell them a little bit about yourself." And that's what I did. Yeah, they gave me a platform to explain who I was, and I thanked them for meeting them all. Um, they made me feel like a queen, honey. They gave a clap for me, um, and then they said, okay, we're going to allow a handful of children to ask you a question. I said, fine. And I don't remember all. It was like three people. I know what. I think the first one asked if I had children. And I said, no, I don't have any children. And then someone asked me about the dog. Like they spoke in their native tongue, and then the man translate. But one of them did speak English. The older one spoke English. And they asked me about the dog. Because I did explain to them in my introduction why I was holding the dog, and I gave the story about the dog and its health concerns and all that. And they the girl was curious though, they were curious to see what a dog does. Okay, this is Rwanda, and they've never seen a small dog like this, and they're curious. So I said, "Oh, I'll put the dog down on the ground, and you get to see how the dog looks." Honey, you wouldn't believe what happened next. It was so funny. Okay, now there's about maybe 100 children, okay, ages maybe three to 11, or something like that. So they're very tiny. Honey, when I put my little lavender, and the dog was on a leash, I put the dog down on the ground, and those kids ran towards the dog, honey. Oh, they were like, wow. It was like you think it was what do you call it? You remember that back in the day, those what do you call it? What's the word for it? Um, like a like a rock band, with this. Remember back in the day, you have these rock bands, and then the people would just like run after them and stuff like that. Oh man, that's what it was like. It was they ran all in unison. You put and I didn't know this was going to happen. I'm just thinking, oh, you put the little dog on the ground, and they just okay, but no, they ran, all of them, to touch the dog, and it was something else. And they had to push the kids away. They were just like they got in a frenzy. Yes, they did. My little boy was great the whole time. I think he loves the attention, actually. Yes, Labby boy, I think, was eating it up. Yeah, back in America, Lavender didn't really let me hold him a lot, when I go outside. But honey, now that I'm in Rwanda, he likes being carried. And again, yes, my little boy is still recuperating. Many of you know that he's still very, his blood is very weak. Even though he gained his weight back, but now the extra weight, he's not walking as fast. And again, his blood is weak. And but may it become strong and powerful. Okay, yeah. And I think he loved the attention. Yeah, they were all calling. It was like a beehive for they were just buzzing around him, trying to push through. It was like a rock concert, honey. Yeah, it was fun. It was funny, and none of us got hurt, anything like that. And Lavi was fine the whole time. I got it. I was a little concerned at time. I said, hey, because it's wow. But I had a fantastic time, people. They said, look, you're welcome anytime. You're going to be our special guest from now on, and uh, we'd love for you to be able to talk to us and all that. And they made me feel so good. Yeah, I mean, I will. Yeah, what I did, I left my phone at home, and I do not have my number memorized. Shame on me, right? Shame on me. But I got their number, and I told them when I get home, I will contact them and give them my number. I said, I'd like to keep in contact, definitely. So uh, later in the afternoon, I wrote them, I text them and I thanked them for the time. Yeah, it was such an exciting story, people. Just they just welcomed me with open arms, and I had no idea they were going to allow me to speak to the children. This is a private school, private Catholic school. Um, they really gave me the love, honey. They went out of their way. They wanted me to know about them. And I find like in life, what I'm seeing now when I watch these YouTube videos, that people want you to know their story. People want to know. People like to talk about themselves, and I don't mean in the arrogant sense. See, a lot of us are hurting. A lot of us have a story, and they want their story heard. And again, Rwanda is not a large country, um, and they're eager about other people. They're eager about, hey, what is it? This is a dog? What? Okay, we never saw that. So it's a learning opportunity, people. It's a learning opportunity, mutual opportunity to learn about one another. To get to meet someone who's from America. I explained to them I was from New York City. Uh, I explained about some of the social conditions that are happening in New York right now and what brought me to Rwanda, and that I'm interested in learning about them. I'm interested in learning the language. Yeah, I have an options. The options here are, there's online schools, informal. You do it online, and then the old-fashioned way you go in person and you get a tutor. Yeah, I want to learn the language. I um I I I'm enjoying myself. I'm enjoying. See, I've been to locations in my past that I didn't know the language. Just maybe just one or two words or something like that. For me, I feel that yes, it's good to be able to speak someone's language, but there is a language of the heart, people. There's a language of the heart, and people can tell whether you're into them or not. And I love that, like, when you're able to make a breakthrough, when you're able to have an understanding what the other person is trying to tell you. It's fantastic. And so just imagine many, many years ago, 300, 400, 500 years ago, and let's say you're new in a region, and you're trying to communicate with people who never seen people like you, never uh, heard your language before, and when you're able to finally communicate, it is a beautiful, exciting feeling. And so for me, I don't feel intimidated by not being able to speak the language fluently. I, I, I didn't know anything. Before I did come to Rwanda, I arrived on December 3rd of last year, 2023, and I did find a program on YouTube that that taught how to say the greetings like hello, how are you? I'm fine. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, all that, just the basics. And hun, it was hard for me. It was, but so I at least did do that, and the people here they like their language. And I like people that like their language, that like their culture, that like their food. I like that. I like that because it's showing me that they love themselves. And that's what it's all about, loving yourself. And when you love yourself, you can love others. And that's what life is all about, isn't it? So they really made me feel like a queen. And they gave me an open invitation to visit anytime that I want. Um, I also met the principal when we were leaving the facility. The principal of the school was coming up, and so the translator, explained who I was and all that, and she was very nice to me. And yeah, I feel in my heart, I like children actually. And even though I don't have any children, I like little children. Um, I love the innocence of children, very, very tiny children. I feel very protective over them. And as I shared with you yesterday, the little girl, I met her, I think it was in February or late January of this year, 2024. And it was just a random little girl. She could be maybe 3 years old. And she just walked. I was sitting down on these rocks on a ledge, and she just walks up and she puts her hand up show me the palms of her hand because she wanted to touch my hand. Well, I saw her uh, another time too, and she almost got hit by a car. She was too busy waving at me. She saw me in a distance and waved. And she was with another little person, probably a little older brother or something like that. And I had stopped going over there where she would be at a certain hour because I didn't want her to get distracted by my presence and get in an accident. So I stopped walking over there during the hours she might be there, and it was just a fluke yesterday as I'm uh, just a block away from my house. Um, the little girl sees me, and she has, I explained in the video yesterday. In short, she gave me flowers. What an angel! And it means a lot to me, the little children and the innocence of children. I did not have the best childhood. I didn't have the worst childhood. Let me say, I don't want to come to, make you think that something was really, it wasn't the best. I was extremely timid and afraid. And so I have a sensitivity to little children because I was a little child once, and I don't want them to get hurt. And so I had this experience also regarding children. When how to word this? Yeah, I don't know whether it's a prophetic or something. I think maybe I'm wondering whether or not if I have a calling for little children. And let me explain. There were two dreams that I had. I was a teenager. No, one I was a teenager, like 18 years old, and the other I was in the post-military. I was in my 20s, and they both had to do with babies or little children. I used to get these nightmares as a teen, and I was being and again I'm from New York City, and back in the day things for young black men especially was not good, and they had these gang of guys, and I was terrified of them, and I would have these dreams that they were chasing me, and one day I in this dream I was sick and tired of running and being afraid. And then I finally stopped running, turned around. I said, "Why?" Either I said, "Why are you chasing me?" or "What do you want?" Guess what happened? Well, it wasn't a group of men, young teens, running after me. It was a little child, one little child, and the little child was crying. It was a little black child, uh, maybe 4 years old, five, something like that. And just a generic dark skinned black child. And it was crying. He was crying. And then the dream went away. That dream never came back again. And then fast forward in the military, I get out of the military, and then I was living in the U.S. Virgin Islands. And one day I had a dream. And this was a very peculiar dream because the dream was in reverse, if that makes sense. Like if you're thinking about time, from part one and two to three. But in this dream, the end was the beginning was the end. And the dream starts off with me holding up a baby boy in my hands. And it was a beautiful, beautiful brown skinned baby with big dark brown eyes, a little afro. It looked really cute mouth. And I'm looking very intently at the child, and I asked myself, where did this kid come from? And then the next scene in the dream, I was in a storage room that had shelving, like I was looking for something. And then the next scene after that, I was on an operating table. There was a bright light above my face, and I was giving birth to a baby. And what was odd about this dream was that, like, usually, like, when you're dreaming and let's say something happens to you in the dream, you might initially feel what happened to you in the dream, and then the feeling goes away, because it was just a dream. Well, what happened to me in my and my delivering a baby in the dream, I felt like something, like I had just delivered something happened to my body. My I might be very tactful in my language. The birth canal had like, it felt like pins and needles prickling it, like something happened, and then my uterus also felt like pins and needles, like something just occurred, and the feeling did not go away. All night, I had to rock myself to try to get back to sleep. It, it lasted the whole night. And so that was the first something like that ever happened to me. But when I was thinking about those two dreams, the one with the giving birth to a baby boy, and then um, the young boy, the teenagers who are running after me, and then when I turn around to confront them, why you chase me or what do you want? And it was just a little boy crying. So I feel very I'm wondering, hey, does the creator have something for me for this school? whatever what it is, even though I am I tell people that I am retired. I'm not working here. I'm just enjoying my time, trying to enjoy my time. But I want purpose in my life. That is very important to me. All my life, I've been searching and searching. What is my calling in life? And even though my initial time in Rwanda was challenging with the death of my two dogs and my current dog that's still survived, is still under treatment. Every 2 weeks, he has to go back to the hospital for more blood tests and all that. So he's not out of the woods. And they're the only family I have here, my little dogs. Um, I want to make the best of my life here. And I appreciate the love that the people of Rwanda has shown me. I'm a stranger. And they went out of my way at the school. I don't have anything to give them, I'm not don't have millions of dollars. And it wasn't about that. And I felt like, hey, she seems like a nice person. Hey, let's show them what our school is all about. So I think it's great PR. And again, it's about educating. These kids are going to be tomorrow's leaders. They're going to be tomorrow, the people who are in charge of Rwanda. These are just little babies, little 3-year-olds, 10-year-olds, and one day they'll become adults and they'll be in positions of who know what type of positions of power, responsibility, all that. So they want them to be exposed to different types of people, and I am impressed with that. You have people who might be afraid of their children or their students to meet different people if they're different. But the world is a smaller place. You have the internet. People have to learn about one another. And what's a great lesson to learn? Hey, you got a lady from America, and she has a little dog. Hey, we can learn about America. We can learn about what it's like to own a dog. How do you treat a dog? How do you take care of a dog? It's a learning opportunity, people. That's what today's visit was. And yes, I would like to keep things open. And yes, I wrote them a text message back and to thank them for a beautiful, beautiful time that I had. It was magnificent. Again, I can't stop saying it made me feel like a queen. They really, really went out of their way to make me feel special. And so more peace, love, and prosperity and wellness to you, my beautiful school. And then I was on my way back home. And yeah, I shared with you yesterday. I showed you the little picture, video of the cows and the chickens. Yeah, my fantasy, people, my little fantasy, and also why I like to go up north. I could see myself buying land. I mean, I don't know where I'm going to get the money, but my dream is to buy land and to have a my home built to my specifications. And I love the opportunity. I love the idea of me maybe having little chickens. What else? Um, I want a what do you call it? Permaculture garden. I want a practical garden. I want a what do you call it? A compost station. Like when you throw away your garbage, like let's say you're eating an orange, the skins. You save that and you put it in a bin, and it decomposes, and you put it back in the soil. I would like to live a lifestyle like that. I would like to live a lifestyle. I want to learn how to build a fire. I want to be able to cook over what do you call it, like wood, in a bowl or something, what I talk about, a big bowl and you're cooking over it. I want to try that. I'm very much excited and I want to I guess it's my way of connecting to my African ancestry. Even though my ancestors did not come from Rwanda, but Africa or sub-Sahara Africa as a whole, because it seems like with Rwanda, you have different phenotypes in Rwanda. Um, Again, the name of the language spoken is Kinyo Rwanda, and there are different uh, phenotypes of the people. Um, some of them what they say Bantu. Now the Bantus are in West Africa, where most of the people from the transatlantic slave trade, they're Bantu. So you have that component in Rwanda, um, but you have other ethnic groups too. They're all black, but they have their origins too. You know, and what's the point of me mentioning that? Yeah, so you want to expose people to understand other people, and so yeah, yeah, my dream to live a natural uh, African life. Some people might call it living off the grid. I would like to try that, people. I just to get to tap onto that. See, I'm not ashamed of having ancestors who were kidnapped and enslaved. It just makes me a better person in that I am alive, that my genetics are alive. And you have people who live in the past rather than having the past motivate them for greatness. They want to wallow in their pity. There are people right now that are being kidnapped and enslaved. Not, you're thinking 400, 500 years ago. This is now. You have black people who are involved in illicit thing, other forms of slavery. Slavery is not new. Slavery was even in Bible days. It doesn't make it right. But human nature seems to be such that the conqueror will utilize you what they see fit. If you have ability, let's say you have administrative abilities, they'll put, a smart leader will put those people in those positions. Or let's say you are into agriculture, or you build it, then you'll be doing that work. They're going to force you to do that work. But it's nothing new. You're always going to seem to have the dominant culture and then the culture that's being uh, held back. But a lot of us hold ourselves back. A lot of us today hold ourselves back. So, so I'm not going to I want to let the past motivate me to do something great. I want to do something that I could be proud of. And I'm the only one in my family that does not have their own property. And I would maybe it is a little vain on my part, a little vanity that I would like my own property. But I love the idea of my property to my specifications, and I would like to honor the the my genetics, the ancestors, with um, learning about how to make things with your hands. How do you get your water? How to build a fire? I want to tap in on that. I want to know. You have people who go to Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts. Remember back in the day, they it was important to those organizations to teach the basics, to teach you about survival in the wilderness. And I would like to, I mean, I don't want to be forced into a lifestyle, but I would like the opportunity to live, um, get to build my dream. I would like to fulfill my dream, my fantasy. I've never owned land. I mean, my parents owned their house, and I have siblings that they have their own, but I never had. I had a very rough time financially. Very, very rough. No lie. Life financially in America at particular points of my life was quite challenging. That I could say in all sincerity. And now I am retired, and I want to enjoy. I want to expand myself. I want to expand. I want to expand my horizons. And um, I didn't want to be stuck in America. I didn't want that. And I wanted, I guess, a new adventure. And I didn't want to get stuck and left behind in a crazy city. What's happening in New York City? It's really going downhill. So I said, let me leave now. So that was my experience with the school. And then I came home, fed my dog and everything, and I had another opportunity to meet another person here in Rwanda, a neighbor. I had um I had to step outside on the patio for something, and I see a young woman and some other people. They were delivering something, and I don't remember exactly how it happened, but um, I said to myself, "Oh, that's my next door neighbor. Hey, let me introduce myself to them." I'm thinking. And so that's what happened. I had to go run back in the house because I forgot my key because it had a gate on the door. So I said I'll be right back. Yeah, she spoke English too. She spoke English. So I ran back in the house, got my keys, and then I came back, unlocked the gate, and have her come in. I said, how are you? My name, gave my name, and oh, I'm sorry. I showed her the garden, and um, and then we go back to the gate and we started talking, and she was trying to explain about where she lives. She she lives directly across the street from me in this big big they call things that big a compound. Well, what I gather, like sometimes it was a little tricky for me to understand. Her English basically is pretty good, but some words I may not fully understand. But the gist of what I get from her, she is like a property manager, and there are a total of 4 properties that the owner has. She's living in one of these structures, and she's to make sure everything is taken care of there. So it's like 4 houses on this property, all enclosed in a big gate. And it was just maybe 1 or 2 days ago that me and my little dog was walking by that street. And I said, wow, I never saw, I didn't know what was in front of this building. My curiosity got the best of me. Yeah, I thought it was a business, but actually, no, it's a home. And this person that I met today gave me a tour of her home. Yes, she did. She was very friendly. She's 25 years old. Um, and we had a very long talk. I think we talked for over an hour. Yeah, very pleasant. And she shared with me it was again that's sometimes a little challenging to understand fully, but she's from the northern part of the country, and she had an opportunity to come here, and she came here to look for work, you know, And she's been doing what she's doing now for 3 years at the location. And I had a fantastic time. And she shared with me about, yeah, she was born in 1998. So she was born during the heart of the technology and stuff like that, computers, cell phones, and all that. And it is amazing. And what was that? So she shared with me. What else did she talk about? Yeah, what she's concerned about the young people, and they 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 don't want how do I word it? That what they want they're not willing to work for. And I said, wow, that takes a lot of insight to say something like that. But she, she wants to improve. Um, so even though she lives in this structure, yeah. So the owner of the properties, allows her to live and service the four other units. Um, but she's searching also, and I find it interesting, people, that I'm learning that, see, someone may not live in a big country, but they might have a big problem. They might have challenges, and it's good that when we're able to tap onto your strength, then you can move forward. So yeah, we had honest conversations about different topics. I talked about where I'm from, and I gave a word of encouragement. I feel that's important. That yeah, she's only 25, so she's almost old enough to be like my granddaughter. Um, but people are hurting out there, and things are happening very fast, and you need to keep up. So I was giving her ideas, things that she might want to consider, um, to how to bring in money, honest money, things like that. Not again, I'm not no financial advisor, but I'm just giving her encouragement and suggestions what you can do, to try to build up on yourself. And she really appreciated it. And it's nice that it's a neighbor right across the street from me. Again, I've only been in this country for maybe 3.5 months, and again, things could happen. You want people to know who you are. You know what I mean? I did not come here to live an what's that word, anonymous lifestyle. No, but I'm laid back what I do, but I do like to see beautiful things. So it was a beautiful opportunity to meet a young woman, and oh, she helped me out regarding the electric bill. Like, I had paid double 2 months ago, so the payment covered 2 months ago to last month that just got completed. And so she what's that? What's that? I'm sorry. Sometimes I lose. Sometimes I get a senior moment, people. But basically, in short, that um, she's sharing with me different aspects of her life, and I appreciated her. You can meet so many different people, and it's a learning lesson. You know, um, I had a fantastic time communicating with her, and yes, we exchanged numbers. Yeah, yeah, you live alone or something like that. You're female. You want people to know who you are. For I don't want to just sound selfish, but as women in general, you want people to kind of know, okay, that's the lady that lives there and she walks this dog. You want see when people understand who you are, when there's trouble, they'll be more willing to come to your rescue, right? Wouldn't you say that's accurate? You know, so I want to know who my neighbors are. It's important to me. It's important. I see the importance of it. So it was a really wonderful opportunity to meet with a neighbor, and it's been. I see that there's, Rwanda has its pluses and minuses, but I'm glad that now I am embracing the opportunity for something positive, something nurturing, and it's very satisfying. Yeah. So, where does what happened today with meeting the new neighbor? I mean, my being a new neighbor to meet uh, a resident that was there for a while. Um, what's that now? Yeah, another senior moment. Yeah, it's all good, people. It's all good. What was that now? Oh, yeah, these movies that I'm watching on YouTube. And what I wanted to discuss with them. See, everything, based, sometimes when I discuss certain things, you wonder, well, what does that have to do with something else? So then I want to try to tie it in about what's happening today around the world. So here mentioned I met a young woman, she's a neighbor, and certain challenges she may have. And challenges are universal. It's not just a particular country or color, whatever. No, um, challenges happen to everyone. It can happen to everyone. And so when I came back home from meeting my neighbor for the first time, um, I was watching some programs on Indian reservations and this thing on Appalachia about drug addiction. That's what's happening a lot now on the East Coast. I mean, all over. But why I make mention of them in this human story, um, it's about how we may miscommunicate or misinterpret who a person is, and you just base them on because of their race or certain things like that. And to find that people have more things in common than not. People have things in common, experiences. And so that's also why I want to share about this because here in Rwanda, you know what happened in Rwanda in the 1990s. They had a genocide. So I would imagine you have some older generations who might be sensitive, may feel bad about what happened, and then to see while watching a YouTube video um, about people who have their challenges. There's one show that I saw. What was he now? Was he a cook? But he was someone he likes to go to different countries and interview the people. And what was that now? Um, oh, well, with today at least, about Appalachia, you have a lot of poverty there. You have, some of these places in Appalachia, West Virginia. You have a lot of what do you call what do you call it? Different. You have people are hurting out there that are addicted to certain things. I'm trying to be very tactful. I don't want to get this channel pulled, but uh, poverty is universal, and anyone could fall into an addiction. They were interviewing this man, and he said, the interviewer said, is it that you came from a bad background? and you fell into it. He said no. He chose his life. He chose, and where's it leading him? Where, what this person did. And so now on YouTube, you have a lot of people who have like what do you call it? Like they 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 could talk into it and you know present messages. So people are hurting out there, and this video that's on the screen now by Appalachia, and uh, this person being interviewed, they showed where he lived. He lives in a very posh looking area, but he got into GRUNGS drugs. It will mess you over. So initially, I was talking to the person. Uh, I'm sorry, that the interviewer of the video uh, was trying to get information. How did their life fall into this? And again, peer pressure. You have peer pressure. Now, in Rwanda, um, I haven't really seen that type of spirit, but anybody can fall into certain substance abuses. Anybody. These are people that are born one day, and the next day they choose a lifestyle. But it reminded me that not just black people are poor, you have poor whites. Anybody could taste poverty in America. And that message I felt it was important to share because the misconception I had that figure that everybody who's white has money, and that's not true. Or that they had to have a certain mindset that wasn't agreeable to me, and that's not necessarily true, not at all. And nothing alike meeting people, talking to people, and sharing your story, what you feel comfortable in sharing. And it's proved very positive to me. And I, I'm very thankful. I haven't felt like this in ages, but you have nations that are extremely wealthy, but they don't have, uh, they may not have the basics. And that's the sad part of it. But I see that we're really, all of us are hurting. Some may have more pain systems than others, but overall, you know, people, um, people are being challenged. People are being challenged, and once you realize it, try to get out when you can. Yeah, so that's basically what I learned today. The having the uh, neighbor and then having another neighbor. It's good to keep in contact with other people. Yes, yeah, it's wisdom, and I'm just very excited that I'm feeling comfortable enough to make an effort. Yeah, and I would say those Americans that are listening, or even foreigners, it's okay to it's okay to say no if you know really means no. And the world is in America. It's a part of it, but there are many things that seem to be going on behind the scenes. Not everything is what it looks like. Not at all. Not at all. Yeah. So um, the birds aren't swooping down on my head. I was scared when they did that. But so far, so, they're keeping a distance, and I'm happy about that. Yeah, so I just want to give my word of thanks and any word of encouragement to, as I told the girl, make it happen. So that's about my story. And I want to thank you again, Rwanda. I want to thank you, human beings, uh, to provide me the opportunity to um, make a choice. Make a choice to come down here. Yes, there was sacrifices that were made, but the good things that do come about with my actions. So I'm very thankful. And peace, love, joy, and harmony. And I wish you all a fantastic evening, or where you are, let's say it's afternoon or morning. You know, have a peaceful, wonderful day. And until next time, and you can share your stories, whether you've moved recently or utilize certain foods for your dog to keep your dogs healthy. What advice could you give me? So I thank you, people. I thank you, Rwanda, for a fantastic afternoon. I thank you. Let's see, I had bought this meat that's thawing out. I thank you for all these gifts that I do have. That I have food in the cupboard. I have legs that I could walk. I'm very thankful. And thank you again for the people who make my life a little safer. So again, I thank you again. And those of you like this content, yeah, you can write your comments below, and you could share my videos with some that you think might appreciate it. Yes, today was a beautiful day. It was April 17th, and school time. School time back in America. Yes, it's all good. So I thank you again, YouTube, and want to play it. Be safe rather than sorry, and enjoy the process. Enjoy, and thank you for allowing me to share my experience today. Bye bye.